You
You
are
you are
listening
listening
to
to
the
the
Black
Black
Love
Love
Experience
Experience
podcast.
I'm Amber.
I'm Tavares. We are the Black Love Experience. Welcome to our kingdom. Welcome back to the show. This is the Black Love Experience podcast. I am Tavares. My lovely queen, Amber JG, is out on assignment again, but she grinding, so it's all good. Today we're talking about positive role models, right? And look, I know, well, first off, hello to everybody. How's everyone doing? Everyone feeling good? You should be feeling good. I hope you're feeling good. We hope you're feeling good, all right? That's what we want for you. Today we're talking about, as I just mentioned a moment ago, positive role models and what that is to us, especially in our culture and in our community. Now, many people associate role models with famous people, celebrities, sports figures, broadcasting figures, music, talent, etc. All that is great. However, many of us are role models and we don't even know it. Many of us take that on every single day because we wake up with integrity and purpose and intention to be better versions of ourselves than we were the day before. A positive role model serves as an example, especially to children, inspiring children to live meaningful lives. Role models show young people how to live with integrity, optimism, hope, determination, and compassion. They play an essential part in a child's positive development. Well, just not the children, though. Many of us adults also influence other adults. We definitely inspire and motivate others. I have not only been told that I'm motivating, but I've also been motivated by other people. You know, my peers. I've even been motivated by young people because I look at everyone as a spirit. Both Mrs. Garrett and I look at every person as a spirit. And so we understand that we are much more than our minds and our bodies, right? There's an abundance of energy that goes into the spirit that creates exactly who we are, who we wake up to be, and who we also aspire to be. And so some of the positive role model examples, some folks, when they think role models, they probably think who? Steph Curry, shout out to the Warriors. All right, I had to just go there real quick. But Steph Curry and Oprah Winfrey, all right? The Obamas, all right? Barack and Michelle, even LeBron, okay? The Jackson family, okay? There are so many people. Denzel Washington, The Rock. I can go on and on about just all these celebrity influencers, but it doesn't just start or stop there. Many of us parents, grandparents, siblings, brothers, cousins, etc., also serve as role models in our immediate family or communities or our places of work. And so being mindful, as you already know, goes into being a role model, okay? Common role models in a daily include parents, teachers, coaches, great bosses. A role model is a person whose character is worth emulating or imitating. You ever get around someone like that? You just meet them. You're like, wow, their energy is so strong. It's so positive. It's so impactful. It's so inviting, maybe even magnetic. These are the people that we're talking about. And again, many of us have the opportunity to always be a role model. Now, some people don't really care for the term or they don't care to really get involved in being a role model. They just want to live their lives and do them. That's fine too. Please understand, however, we all pay attention to one another. Each one teach one. You've all heard that, right? Right. And so being mindful and moving with intention, well, as some of my business associates in the industry like to say, move like people are watching. And it doesn't mean that you have to care about what people are thinking about you or what they may say or what they may see when they look at you. But if we did a little bit more to move as if people were always watching, how would that change our approach to, say, obstacles, to opportunities? How would we respond to perhaps a phone call that was uninvited? You see where I'm going with that? Being a positive role model doesn't just have to do with being a celebrity. It just has to do with who we are as the individual and what we are looking to contribute to the world. And if we even care. Some people don't care to contribute anything to the world. They just go to work, they work their 8, and they come home. Nothing wrong with that either. I believe there is a space for each and every single one of us in this world. Some of the values of positive role modeling: look, passion and ability to inspire. Role models show passion for their work and have the capacity to infect others with their passion. Just touched on this a little bit ago. When I was growing up, one thing that I really enjoyed was Michael Jackson. I love the energy. In fact, one of my favorite albums of all time is Thriller. And because of that album, it really showed me how creativity can really go just beyond the imagination. It showed me that we can be completely intentional with our creativity, though we can detach ourselves from reality so much so that we can actually create that vision. I remember experiencing the freedom that I felt while watching the Thriller video because of just all of the details that went into Michael Jackson's imagination. I mean, think about this. If you're in the room where they started to produce and direct and write out the blueprint for the Thriller video, I mean, I could only imagine how creative those conversations were. And so as a young kid watching this, my mind was blown. And then it also fostered my own creativity. It showed me, you know what? Sky's the limit, buddy. You can go as far as you want with this stuff. The next one, clear set of values. Role models live their values in the world. I love that. Do you have values? Where do your values stand with you and your family or your friends or just you as an individual? I'm a father, right? Mrs. Garrett and I are parents. And so we have values. We have values and morals that we love to share with our children. And we hope that our children will build upon and then push those values forward with our grandchildren and so on and so forth. You want to know how to impact a generation? You want to know how to change a narrative within a culture? Start with your values. Values are not only big in personal life, but they're also huge in the professional life. Another great quality of a positive role model: commitment to community. Mrs. G and I have been doing so much more to get involved with our community because we understand that we have so much knowledge between us. And there's so many things that we want to do to contribute to our community. Some folks are like, why? And I say to them, why not? Why not be a part of something bigger than yourself? Why not go into the world, go into the community of where you live, where you spend your money, right? And give back. And give back because you want to impact the generation that's coming up. You want them to have, we want them to have the opportunities to feel the love and the support and to be acknowledged and recognized by the community. I mean, that's pretty powerful. And that's how we are able to push our communities forward. The next one, selfishness and acceptance of others. Look, as a role model, and I'm not talking about, again, just the celebrities at that upper echelon status. I'm talking about all of us human beings. When we understand that we are all here to love each other and that it is our, I'm going to say, as a human being, I feel like it's just our position as a fellow human being to accept all, right? Accept and include. And when we do that, we foster more love. We foster more integrity. We foster more momentum, motivation, inclusion. You get where I'm going with this. So these are great qualities to have as not only a role model, but a human being as well. And then the last one, the ability to overcome obstacles. I prefer to call obstacles opportunities. Mrs. Garrett and I, we are looking to change a lot of the words that we use because we understand how words can really be impactful and influential. Remember, we are the architects of our reality. So let's be intentional and deliberate with how we even speak to ourselves or even think to ourselves. The ability to overcome obstacles, or in this case, opportunities, is powerful. To be able to think, hold space for yourself to process. There's no need to be in a rush and feel like you have to answer this question like right now, or you need to have this thing figured out right now. Sometimes we have to take time, create a plan, and then approach. Nothing wrong with that. This is the Black Love Experience Podcast. We'll be right back. Be sure to catch the BLX podcast right here on Anchor.fm weekly. Welcome back to the Black Love Experience Podcast. I am Tavares. My beautiful queen, Amber JG, is out on assignment. What's up, baby? I am sitting here with y'all, and I so love this. We're talking about positive role models and what that looks like and how it impacts us and our communities. Being a positive role model, and look, we know hip hop is huge right now. Shout out hip hop celebrating 50 years. That's a big deal right there. Guess what? Hip hop as a whole is a role model, whether they want to believe it or not. And I'm happy to say that because hip hop has changed my life. It has impacted my life on multiple levels. The things hip hop has done, not only for the industry of music, but for communities around the world, has and will continue to be felt for years to come. How to be a positive role model in this world? Well, I don't know exactly all those answers, but we will share some things that can help people understand, well, how do you act as a positive role model? Some folks don't even know that they are role models until you walk up to them and say, man, I want to be just like you, or my kid has been inspired by what you do. Exactly. That happens to many folks all day, every day. So let's help them out. Number one, act confidently. Now, a lot of folks have this naturally. And I don't mean cockiness. Don't be obnoxious. And they ain't talking that. We're talking about acting with confidence, acting with integrity. Know what you're talking about. And when in doubt, read. How else will you know what you don't know? Number two, address your weaknesses. I love this one. Because I, as an individual, have had to address my weaknesses in order to grow, in order to evolve. Look, we can all try to get somewhere, and we all may have a plan. But let's be quite clear. It is absolutely imperative that we acknowledge our weaknesses. You can't just sweep the weaknesses to the side and only focus on your strengths, because sooner or later, your weaknesses or weakness will show itself. And when we don't address it, how do you think we're going to respond when it pops up uninvited out of nowhere? Now, some of us can handle that, but some of us may react to that, and that could be bad. Number three, respect everyone around you. I had a problem with this even as a young man growing up. I never understood the impact. I never understood the implications of either respecting everyone around me or not. And now, as a grown man in my season, I do. And as a grandfather, I show and teach this to our grandson every opportunity that I get. The way I speak to him, because I understand that he is looking at how I am speaking to him. Never mind how anyone else is. I'm concerned with how his grandpapa T speaks to him, because I know my influence on our grandson. I recognize it and have recognized it. And so I take that very seriously, and I hold that in my heart. So when I speak to him, I kneel down. I don't like to tower over him because I don't want to intimidate him. I want him to know that he is going to be a king one day. He is a young prince. And even as a young prince, he still gets the respect from his Papa T, who is a grown king. You see where I'm going with that? Each one teach one. He will remember, even down to the tone of my voice, even my word selection, even my face expressions. Remember, all actions are communication, right? We're all always communicating in some way, shape, or form. Even if you don't talk, you're communicating, okay? No response is a response. We all know that. Maybe you just look at someone and you don't say anything. That is communicating. We all understand that. Whether you intend to or not, that is communicating. Number 4, prioritize good communication. Love this one too. We must be careful And we must think before we speak. And look, y'all hear me starting to smile and kind of, speak through my laughter, but I'm laughing because I've struggled with this so much. Not only as a young man, as an adult, and even periodically now, but because I bring attention to my weaknesses, I bring attention to also creating an opportunity to approach them and to mitigate them. So I'm not just running around like a chicken with my head cut off, just like, speaking out of the side of my neck, so to speak. I'm prioritizing good communication. Our daughter, Alira, actually, when we text, there was a text that happened a while back, and something that she said to me has just always stuck with me. She appreciated the text that I sent to her, and she took her time to respond. And in taking her time, she actually even revealed that in her response. And I thought that was so sweet. I thought it was great that she took the time, and she noted, she said, "Hey, Dad, I didn't want to respond to you right away. I just want to take my time with carving out a response because I love what you said." That is someone, shout out to our daughter, Alira, what's up, baby? That is an individual who's prioritizing good communication. She took the time to carve out a nice, heartfelt message with intention. We love that. And it wasn't just a message that she wrote, but it was recognizing that, damn, in a world where most people, they're so quick to respond, or some of us are so annoyed by a lack of a quick response. This was a moment for me to appreciate our daughter's patience. For me, and in fact, I learned a lot. I thought it was awesome. I really did. There's nothing wrong with holding space for yourself to process. There's nothing wrong with prioritizing good communication. Number 5, share constructive feedback. Some folks can't handle feedback. You have to be able to have and to accept feedback. Not to be confused with someone tearing down your project or tearing down your course or your message or whatever it is you're looking to get some help with or feedback on. But being open to feedback in many cases will help us to better our businesses. Sometimes, feedback also will answer questions that we may have, but never seek information on. Number 6, push yourself to keep learning. A part of my job as a certified nutrition coach is to always be learning. In fact, as a person who serves others in my particular industry in wellness, that is a part of the oath that I take. It is to further my education often. And when I say often, I'm talking about more than likely probably, quarterly, if not monthly. And that's just for me. Other folks are different. Mrs. Garrett and I, we both love to read. We're very transparent about that. We love to be informed. In fact, Mrs. Garrett, in her position, it is imperative that she's always learning about her clients. Because she's always learning about her clients, she's always able to up their experience when it comes to what they want. And so customer service for what we do is always and has always been number 1. Number 7, admit when you do something wrong. Man, let me tell you, a lot of us, we don't like this feeling. I don't love feeling the feeling of being wrong. However, I will say this. In my older years, it has served me well. In fact, calling myself out is even better because I'm learning still about myself. Look, we never stop learning. So don't get uptight when someone calls you out on something that you did wrong. It's okay. Be graceful with yourself. You did something wrong. Guess what? You just learned something from it. And the last one, set high goals. Be ambitious. Go for it. Why not? There is no goal too big or too crazy to set. I don't care what it is. Go for it. If it makes you feel good and it makes and works for you, then why not? As a role model, think about the things that we do. And yes, I did say we. We often do set goals that are, they're quite out there, but they're not so much out there to us because we believe in who we are. This is the Black Love Experience podcast. We'll be right back. If y'all love music, be sure to check out Amber JG and Tavares Days on Apple Music. Go ahead, check it out. We got them hits for you.
Just vibe one time.
Welcome back to the Black Love Experience podcast. I am Tavares. Amber JG is out on assignment right now. What's up, beautiful? Today we're talking about positive role models and the way that may or may not look to you and yours, wherever you may be. Within the Black community, we know that there are a plethora of positive role models, and we also know that there's some not so good role models. But look, I leave that up to the individual. I'm not here to say what's good or what's bad. That's not what we do here at the BLX. We are here to be inclusive and to love on our community and to love on our culture and to reaffirm that each of us have an incredible role in being a part of our community. And what does positive role modeling look like in leadership? Well, I'll tell you. Empathy is a word that comes to mind. Positive role models, some of them are empathetic. I believe it's great to be empathetic because it allows us to connect with folks, right? Connect, listen, and share. Number two, commitment. Commitment is huge as a role model. We all know this as a positive role model because as for for instance, the young women and men who want to go into the life of sports, professional sports. Now, we know that's all commitment. It's determination. It's willpower. I mean, I can go on and on. It's so many things. But commitment, one has to understand their level of adherence in order to make that commitment. A lot of children pick up the ball at a young age, and then they put it down and then pick it back up at, say, a junior age, before 11 or 10. And then, of course, after 12, 13, so on and so forth, right? There's going to be individuals who keep that ball with them and never put it down. You can tell a child's commitment at a very young age based on how many hours they're putting into their skill set. And then there's respect. Positive role models definitely care about respect. You ever hear LeBron James talk on ESPN? He's always talking about respect. That's what he lives and moves with. And guess what? Because he's talking about that, when he steps on the court, he automatically gets that from his oppositions, from his opponents. That's just a part of the game. So when you step on the court with LeBron, you know you better step on the court with some respect because that matters to that man. Optimism. We all must move with some optimism because we cannot control what the world throws at us. And sometimes when we see bad situations, we all, including myself, automatically go toward that negative energy. But sometimes a bad situation can have a positive outlook. And then, of course, collaboration. These are some of the qualities that can make a person a good role model, a leader, or teacher. These qualities help the leader inspire others to emulate them. Collaboration does just that. When we work together, we are saying, hey, you know what? I think you're good enough, and I think you're good enough. And guess what? Both of us together good enough? Well, that can make us great. How infectious is that, right? You want to build a team? You want to build a strong team? You go with collaboration, you can create a culture with that. Also, role model examples. Now, I mentioned earlier, role model may be someone you know personally, professionally, or someone you've never met, including a family member. I recently mentioned on another podcast that we were able to increase our cousins, and this is our first cousins, by the way, our first cousins thread on my family side to 30 cousins on one thread. That's pretty impressive, right? We started off with, when we first started, it was like 15, and then it grew to 20, 23, and now it's 30. Now, we've been able to do that because we have all been available, and we've made ourselves available, and we all want to collaborate to bring the family closer. So when it comes to positive role models, as I said earlier, it doesn't have to always be a celebrity, okay? A lot of times, they're right there in our family. And so I'm proud to say that we have 30 on one thread in our family. Also, role models can be friends. We all have great friends, longtime friends, high school friends, college friends. It can be any one of those friends. I mean, think about the friends who have made a positive impact, not only on you, but the world around them. Talk to those friends. Seek advice if that's what you're looking for. seek some type of consult if that's what you're looking for. If you're looking to be a positive role model or you're looking to be inspired or get a coach, these are some things that you may want to consider. Start with family or friends. Also, it could be a past or current supervisor. It could be someone that you've worked with before. I've been influenced by many coworkers across the time in my life. And just because there's someone that you work with doesn't mean they can't be a positive role model. That's a good look. Coworkers, as I stated, someone famous is also okay to be a positive role model. All I say is, be careful who you choose to be your role model, because remember, each one teach one. So we tend to take on those influences as well if we're not careful. And then, of course, someone who's an expert in your field. What do you love to do? For myself and Mrs. Garrett, we're creatives. We love to create everything from music to podcasts to movies. And so we surround ourselves with like-minded individuals. We even like to do, put on events that serve the community. So what do? We will surround ourselves with those particular individuals. We will seek out that type of counsel, that type of leadership. And look, even leaders have coaches. And I love that because, again, none of us are getting too old, or are we too old to learn ways of doing things? And then, of course, we know what the opposite of a role model is, right? Someone who's anti-role model, someone who has, they haven't achieved what you want to achieve despite being on the same career path. Doesn't make them a bad person. It just makes them anti-role model. As I said earlier, not everyone cares to be in that conversation, and that's okay. Like, we don't shade them. We don't make them feel bad. That's their choice. So as a role model, we respect their choice and we support their choice. Okay. Role models who support worthwhile causes and who are willing to act on their beliefs help children develop and strengthen their own values. Not only children, but adults, young adults, and then, of course, people of a particular age, even senior citizens. Shout out all my senior citizens. They're also role models. Some of our grandparents, grandfathers, grandmothers, still influence us, even though they're not here physically with us. That's called legacy. Okay. When someone's legacy is so strong, what happens is generations will build generations off of that legacy based on the beliefs of that individual that they put forward with their time on this earth. This is the Black Love Experience podcast. We'll be right back. Hey, what's up, everybody? Please say a prayer for those over in Turkey and continue praying for those in Ukraine. The world, as we all know, is going through a very dark time right now. So please, let's shine a light and show love. Don't forget to pick up my new book, Kissed by the Wind, A Book of Poems and Passions, Volume 3, out now on Amazon Books. Go ahead and search Tavares Allen Garrett and get yourself a copy. Thank you for your support. Welcome back to the Black Love Experience podcast. I am Tavares. Queen AJG is out on assignment. Today we're talking about positive role models, and we love this conversation all the time here at the Black Love Experience podcast, and thank you all for tuning in. As I stated earlier, we're talking about positive role models and what that looks like to you in your community. And hey, maybe you are the positive role model in your family. No pressure. No pressure. However, if you are, that's okay. Manage your time, manage your energy. I've had people share with me, man, T, it is so difficult. Everybody wants things from you. They're always calling you. Hey, you know what? That's a part of being a positive role model. It's a part of even being a black leader. Look, we need more black leaders in our community. No doubt about it. We can't always look to Jesse Jackson. Shout out Jesse Jackson. He's about to retire, right? I mean, think about it. They're getting older, so they need that new, young outlook, motivating outlook with our community so that we can continue to push our agenda and our messages forward. We can't sleep on each other. It's super important that we do not do that. We must continue to show up for each other because that is what they have built, they being our current black leaders, aka positive role models. And look, Some of us may or may not agree with all the things. Do you need to agree with all the things that your positive role model agrees with? No, you don't have to. You can pick and choose qualities that you like from several different people, and you could put them on a board or on a list as they pertain to you. So I don't want anyone to think that, oh, because I have this particular role model, I have to believe what they believe. No, not at all. You, again, take what you want from them and make whatever work for you. I'm a big advocate of people, just go out in the world and see what it is that you like and what you don't like. Make a list of what you want, and then make a wish list, right? And then, see how those things compare. When we talk about positive role models, again, a lot of folks may or may not get caught up in the hype about, oh, they must be a celebrity. Look, success looks different on everyone. If you're looking to be motivated and you want to be, I don't know, maybe the richest person in the world, then yeah, Warren Buffett is someone to definitely look at as a positive role model. Perhaps even Steve Jobs, maybe even Bill Gates, maybe even Steve Harvey, right? Maybe even Oprah Winfrey, right? She owns the OWN network. Perhaps even Tyler Perry. Everyone has done it different. But what are you going for? According to many psychologists in the world, people develop their behaviors by copying other people. It's just that simple, right? So if you demonstrate strong qualities like integrity, honesty, and openness, you'll encourage your team members to behave in a similar way. Leaders who practice or reward bad behaviors are likely to develop cultures in which individuals put their own interests ahead of the team. There's no I in team, okay? So as a role model, it's also very important that we talk about teamwork. We talk about thinking others first, because it's not an I thing. The benefits of a good role model have a positive effect on the people around them. They're widely respected, and teams work harder and put in extra effort for people that they admire. I've mentioned this before. It's amazing what people do for love. It's amazing. People may not do it for themselves, but they'll do it for love. I've seen people not go to the gym for themselves and go to the gym because their girlfriend was going to the gym. That is the power of influence. It's just simply put, what's it worth to you? If a person believes that their girlfriend's going to get in shape without them right before the summer, I guarantee you go see the boyfriend in the gym with the girlfriend, because he's not going to want to be left behind, so to speak. Maybe not a good example, but you get the point. Leaders or positive role models also find it easy to build alliances across organizations, okay? Across personal brands. I mean, haven't you seen some of these Super Bowl commercials that happened last year? A lot of collaborating efforts, okay? That's because leaders understand how to inspire others. They know how role models tend to be among the first to be considered for promotions, okay? That's why again, looking at Super Bowl commercials, and I bring that up because when it's Super Bowl time, you see a whole bunch of current celebrities, past celebrities come out of the woodworks, all to help do what? Push the narrative of watching the Super Bowl, the halftime show. You get the point. Some of the traits that we talked about of role models: self-awareness, okay? This is the ability to reflect honestly and productively, on your behavior and on the impact you have on others. Role models, I believe, must be self-aware, as I stated earlier. It's not about us caring about what people think about us. However, if we understand our positions as a role model, as a leader, then we also understand that people are paying attention and that we are servant leaders and not self-serving leaders. One can see yourself more clearly than you can, okay? So we have to keep that in mind. By managing our emotions and well-being, we have the ability to align ourselves with the right people who also share some of our values. That's why I said earlier, you don't have to believe everything that your role model believes. And for those of us parents who know that we are role models to our children, it is absolutely, and again, I will say this, so important for us to lead with love, for us to always reinstall love at the end of each message. Don't just tell the kid to go shut up and sit down. Explain to the kid or children why, and then reinstall the last part of that lesson with, I love you, right? This is for you to be a better human being. Don't just tell them to shut up and sit down. Do the whole thing. Don't just do half of the dance. Complete the song. Also, positivity. Negative people drag down those who have to work with them. You ever been around someone like that? They come into the office, oh man, grunting, they doing all that, and you're like, damn, what's wrong with them? That's what we're talking about. Because that energy is infectious. We have to be mindful of our energy, how we moving with that energy, okay? We can't just be so selfish and think, oh, it's just, this is just my bad day and it's not going to affect anyone else. Wrong. If you're working around people and you come into this space with a funky attitude, it is not okay to impede someone else's energy with that negative vibration. Because you don't know how hard it's taken them and how hard they've had to work to get to this space. So when they come, and look, some people come to work to have a great time. It does happen. Other people come to work to get away from things that annoy them. Maybe an ex, maybe a current situation. Some of us go to work to just put in that 8 hours, get that money, and bounce. Regardless, positivity does matter. And so if we're going into these spaces and we're working with other people, let's be mindful, okay? We're not the only one on earth, okay? Yeah, we're having a bad day, but look at the bright side. At least you're alive and you're breathing, and there's people that are looking forward to working with you today. Humility. Good role models practice humility. They're honest when they're not sure what to do and are happy to ask questions and learn. Hello. I love that right there. You have to be available. Myself and Mrs. Garrett, one thing I love about our relationship is like, she is very intelligent. I'm very intelligent, but there's times where I think she's more intelligent than me. And so I'll ask questions because I'm thinking to myself, well, I know I'm intelligent, but if I think she's more intelligent, then why not look to learn more? I'm not gonna not learn from my wife. How crazy is that? Especially if I believe that she has a lot to offer. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing right there. It's a big deal. If we're learning for each other, positive role models, this is what they do. They are comfortable with encouraging other people to flourish. They give credit where it's due, and they don't hide behind rank or experience. Hello. Okay. I know y'all hear that, and you hear me smiling because I love that. Don't hide behind rank. Don't hide behind experience. If someone's calling you up and they're like, hey, would you mind mentoring me? If you have the time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, why not? What's it going to hurt? That's someone coming to you for your leadership. That's pretty damn special. This is the Black Love Experience Podcast. We'll be right back. Body Synthesis assists you with stress relief, weight management, behavior change, sober support, positive self-talk, nutritious lifestyling, and more. Are you transformation ready? Call us now at 818-533-8059. And if you're online, check us out on Instagram or Facebook at Body Synthesis. Go to our website at thebodysynthesis.com. Welcome back to the Black Love Experience Podcast. I am Tavares. My beautiful queen, Amber JG, is out on assignment. What's up, beautiful? Today we're talking about positive role models. I wish she was here because I know she would lend a whole bunch to this, but she's here in spirit. That's how I'm able to get my vibe on. You know what I'm saying? She gives me her blessing and we get to flexing. So let's get back to it. Positive role models. They must also have empathy, all right? It involves understanding the emotional needs of your people. You can develop empathy by using mindful listening so that you really hear and understand what people are telling you. The more you are able to identify and connect with team members in this way, or family or friends, the more trust you'll build and the stronger those connections will be. Emotional intelligence is necessary. A lot of us lack it. And I'm going to tell you where we lack it the most. On text messages, because you can't really interpret how someone feels based on what they're saying on a text unless they use an emoji or they are specific and they spell it out for you. But empathy matters, okay? Mindful listening, active listening, reflective listening, listening to someone, repeating back what you've heard them say so that they know that you've heard them correctly. See, these are all characteristics of a role model, of a positive role model, because it's not just about, showing off what you have, showing off your level of success. That's obvious. We see that. We get that. But there is more to the individual or individuals than what we see on TV or what we hear on music or on the big movie screens, right? That's just an image. In the movies, they're a part of a bigger product, and they're pushing a narrative that has to do with that bigger product. And that bigger product is usually, you guessed it, a corporation. Also, role models demonstrate professionalism. And professionalism means holding your actions and your work to an excellent standard. It involves more than just getting the job done, okay? It's about tapping into a deeper personal qualities, integrity, honesty, respect, all of those good things. And when you can demonstrate your professionalism by simple acts like getting to meetings on time, dressing and communicating appropriately, and being reliable, well, that's all being conscientious, and that's all being present. And that is also powerful when it comes to being a positive role model. That is how corporations will continue to come after, say, spokespersons. A great spokesperson that we have seen evolve right in front of our eyes is none other than the great Shaquille O'Neal. Shout out to Shaq Fu. What up, my brother? Look, Shaquille O'Neal is one of the biggest personalities we've seen in a very long time. I love Shaq. I think he's dope. He's a great pitch man. And you can tell that Shaq does it his way. He believes in endorsing and brands that he himself believes in. I've heard him say this many times on his shows. And I appreciate him being so transparent because it does show. It shows about things that he cares about. And let's be honest, Shaq loves to be in front of the television screen. And I believe he comes across very well. So shout out Shaq. Keep showing us how to be professional, my brother. Integrity. Boom. Role models today. Some do, some don't have it. They really don't, And look, some role models, they think they have it until they do something that, isn't conducive with their brand. And then, of course, their brand drops them, so to speak, or the brand may bench them, so to speak. There's a few NBA players that I don't have to mention their names who have had a slight fall from grace because of their actions in the club. Look, I get it. Not every kid that comes into the NBA understands how to handle the pressures of the NBA. A lot of money comes at them, a lot of distractions, etc. And things sometimes get difficult. And sometimes life has a way of imitating art. And that doesn't always work out so well. So I'm going to say that we here at the BLX will continue to pray for all of our young brothers and sisters that are out in the WNBA world and the NBA world and who are just now coming into this new life. Continue to hold space for yourself to process. It's all good. Integrity is doing the right thing for the right reasons, even if that means not taking the easiest option. If you show integrity and commitment to authenticity and ethical leadership, your team members and friends and family likely will respond with the most important characteristics of good family, friends, or teamwork, and that is trust. We build trust with integrity. We build trust within our communities. We build trust within our families, and we do all of this all while being positive role models. As we started at the top of the podcast, it's not always about the celebrities and the famous folks. All of us are in positions every single day to be positive role models every day. Now, it's up to you how much of that positive role model you actually want to be. But I'll say this. If you're a parent, if you're a grandparent, even an auntie and an uncle, and you spend a lot of times with your nieces and nephews and children, if you're even in a profession where you work with children or people for that matter, you're in a position as a positive role model. It's just that simple. And I think the only difference is I don't know every single person on the earth, so I can't say if you're a positive role model or not. But just know that you're a role model of sorts because human beings, we are all energy and we all transmit energy. And remember, the first law of thermodynamics is what? Energy can't be created nor destroyed, but merely transferred. Hello. I'm just sharing some things here with y'all. That's it. Look, being a positive role model doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't. It can be a badge of honor if you want it to be. It can be something very special. Again, especially if we have children, And I'm not saying that, look, as a parent, my kids, as a young dad, my kids would get on my nerves. But here's the thing. Now that I'm older, I'm not sure if they really got on my nerves as much as perhaps the influences of the older generation before me. That's how they responded to me. Yeah, real talk. I remember my mom and my uncles all the time talking about how much the kids got on their nerves. And I'm not saying that kids don't have the capability of getting on the parents' nerves, but I do believe that as parents, it's up to us how we want to process that, because all actions are communication. So usually what one kid may be doing and what one person or what a parent may see that as, another parent doesn't. That's all I'm saying. Like, you may see it as annoyance and they're not listening. I may see them trying to communicate. That's all I'm saying. All right. Right. Communicating effectively with your team, with your friends, with your family matters. Strong communication skills are important for any role model. Okay. They help to foster high quality connections and to build relationships based on trust. And you guessed it, respect. Yeah, how else? I mean, it's not just about, again, the glitz and the glam. I mean, I know some of the generations think that right now. They're very turned on by what they see other people have. Like, they see what someone else has and they're like, yo, I want that. Nothing wrong with that, because that's also how we learn from each other, based on what each other does, what each other says, what each other stands for, their position at work or not. You get the point that I'm making. Supporting your organization's values are also good ways of demonstrating strong role model characteristics. Maybe you're at work. Maybe you're part of a fundraiser. Maybe you're a part of an organization. These are great ways to help to push that narrative forward. Supporting your role models or supporting others as a role model demonstrates the level of commitment to their communities, to their teams. For owners and for bosses, it demonstrates the commitment to their employees and their employers. All right. The ways that we work together and guide each other through behaviors as a team help to boost morale also as role models. Not many people think about that. Bosses go to work. They may have an attitude. See, all that's impactful because it's energy. If you're leading people, listen up. If you're leading people out there in this world, it is absolutely imperative that you show up and be excited first and foremost about yourself. And then be excited that you're in an opportunity where, guess what? You get to lead other people. You get to show them how to work together, okay? Good team players, good teammates put their own egos aside and focus on the good of the group. As a role model, this is an attitude you'll be sure to adopt, all right? It's an important skill to create. This is the Black Love Experience podcast, and you guessed it, we'll be right back.
It's nice. It's nice.
Always encourage love. Always encourage Black love. Everybody, everywhere. Always stand up in the name of love. Welcome back to the Black Love Experience podcast. I am Tavares. My beautiful wife and queen, Amber JG, is out on assignment. She'll be back soon, y'all. I promise. Today, we're talking about positive role models. I want to thank everybody who's been tuning in from around the world. We see the analytics, so thank you to everyone who's leaving the 5-star reviews. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you so very much. Today, we've been talking about positive role models. Look, being a good role model benefits both you and the people who you work with. Okay, and who work for you. Good role models are widely respected, and they often find themselves in leadership positions. People naturally look up to them, seek to do their best for them, and copy their behaviors, even down to like what they wear, the cars they drive. To be a good role model, focus on developing personal qualities, self-awareness, positivity, humility, one of my favorite words. You must continuously move. Well, I'm going to say this. We, here at the BLX, we continuously move with humility. Empathy, love that word too. Got to think others first. Got to have emotional intelligence. Got to care about people. That's very important when it comes to being a positive role model. Professionalism. Professionalism matters because remember, we are influencing not only people, but young people. We must continue to help them understand what it means to show up to a job interview dressed for the job they want, right? Look, don't show up to the interview in jeans and slippers. No shade on jeans and slippers, but you're going for the job you want, remember? Also, integrity. Gotta have that. You must have integrity. Super important, especially as a positive role model. As you engage with your team, your friends, your family, you will continue to offer yourself as a role model. And while you do that, try to communicate effectively with your friends, your family, if you're at work, your team. Also, support your organization's values. Who do you support? What brands do you support, right? Maybe you have your own brand. Maybe you want to have people be a part of your group. What are your values? Work with collaboration. Collaboration, I'll tell you right now, I've had the honor to work with a lot of artists, and beyond the music, I've been influenced beyond the music while working with them. I've often realized that the music was like the entry point. After the song was done, oh my goodness, the connection really began. Even for myself and Mrs. Garrett, we have worked on records together, so many songs together. And I believe one of the coolest things is that after we're done in a studio session, we go and talk about the song, we'll talk about the experience, and then that will lend itself to other conversations that are so in depth. And so I'm a huge advocate of working collaboratively. I think it's great. And then, of course, support innovation. Anyone who's looking to evolve and to create, for that matter. And if they're looking to create something that's going to, be better for the community, be better for the general public, this is a part of that. Support innovation. It all matters. I want to thank, on behalf of the Black Love Experience podcast and Mrs. Garrett, I want to thank each and every single one of y'all for tuning in from around the world. We know you guys have many choices, and so we thank you so very much for tuning in with us every single weekend. This is the second season. We are coming near the end pretty soon. I believe there's about 5 or 6 episodes left. And so y'all keep staying locked in. Let your friends know. Share it with your friends. Thank y'all for loving, for liking, for adding, for sharing, for subscribing. We appreciate each and every single one of y'all. If you guys want to say hello, you can email us at blackloveexperience@gmail.com. Experience is spelled with an X, no E. And if you're on Facebook or Instagram, we are at the Black Love Experience. And yeah, we love y'all so very much. I'm just so excited. Y'all can tell I'm so excited. Every time we do these podcasts, I get excited about the information that we're sharing because, we care about the message and we care about our community and our culture. And we want to continue to do our part in feeding love and uplifting the culture and affirming the culture. Look, we are children of the culture ourselves. And so we decided a very long time ago that we wanted to continue to serve our community. So when y'all see us out in public, say hello. Just walk up to us, say hello. We'll say hello back. We'll give you a hug. We'll take pictures with you. It's all love here at the Black Love Experience podcast. So until the next time, love yourself, love each other, and love everybody. We'll see y'all soon. This is and has been a beautiful day. And thank you from me, Mrs. Garrett, and the entire team here at the Black Love Experience podcast. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Next time on the BLX.
Seeing and acknowledging each other. Look, acknowledgement is powerful, especially in our community. On the next Black Love Experience podcast. If you have comments, questions, or concerns, or just want to say hello, you can email us at blackloveexperience@gmail.com. That's experience with no E, just an X. And we are on Instagram at the Black Love Experience.
I'm Amber.
I'm Tavares. We are the Black Love Experience. Welcome to our kingdom.